Resource Center was created by UpCap as a place for family caregivers to find information they need. No matter where you are in your caregiving journey, please visit the UP Caregiver Resource Center at upcap.org or dial 211 for assistance.
Will the next rain dampen your weekend plans? I've got your full forecast tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, the first presidential debate of the election cycle. We're live in Washington with a recap of the big topics President Biden and former President Trump argued over tonight. Plus, Ishpeming city manager is fired. We'll have details from tonight's city council meeting where council members voted unanimously to terminate his employment. And a Grammy Award-winning band from Ann Arbor is recording jams here in Marquette. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
We are a little chilly out there tonight. How are we looking as we head into our Friday eventually?
Well, this evening is looking just cloudy, calm, kind of quiet out there as we take a look at the lift bridge, and it is very dry in the skies. We're not expecting any precipitation for the next 6 hours, or at least we're hoping so. I will time that all out, though, with Futurecast as we've got breezy conditions on the way and some significant rainfall. Temps right now, we still have some 60s, but we're heading into the 50s, and that's where those lows are going to be. Your full forecast, though, that's on the way.
Thanks, Air. For the first time in 4 years, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump faced off in a presidential debate. The stakes were high as we head into the election in November. To help break down this debate, our Washington, D.C. correspondents Rachel Knapp and Brendan Scanlon join us live from the White House. Rachel, Brendan, what were some of the main takeaways from the debate tonight?
Good evening, Sarah. So it's going to be hard to kind of condense all that's happened in that 90 minutes, but we'll try our best. I think before we kind of dive into some of the topics, one of the things that I wanted to first discuss with Brendan was about the energy levels. I think that was kind of the first thing that stood out, I think, not only to us, but people on social media also discussing this, especially with President Biden. He seemed very, not mild, but very slow sometimes to answer some of these questions. It seemed a little bit troubling, I think, for some Democrats who were trying to make sure that, that they're trying to reassure people that, yes, he is up for an extra 4 years. But something former President Trump, he was, also pretty much for the most part mild, but not quite as mild. It was a different kind of mild. But I want to kind of take away on that energy level. I thought that was some of the most significant things from this debate. But I want to definitely turn it over to Brendan. Some of the hot topics were discussed tonight.
And I think it was really interesting to see kind of how the muted mics played out. Like you were saying, Trump a little more mild than we saw in the debate 4 years ago. But as far as topics and policies go, I mean, Biden hit Trump early on topics like tax cuts for the rich, on the economy, saying that, look, I view the economy through the eyes of Scranton, not through the eyes of Wall Street. That's something that Biden's been saying consistently throughout his campaign. He hit Trump on the January 6th attacks and his response to those, and of course touched on Trump's convictions, felony convictions in New York. However, Trump did blast Biden on several topics: the border, the economy, inflation, and a number of, veterans, caring for veterans. We saw him hit on the Afghanistan withdrawal, support for law enforcement. There was really no shortage of topics that Trump did attack President Biden on, and many of them did land. And as you were saying, Rachel, at times it seemed like the president either struggled or had a couple of gaffes when trying to provide a rebuttal there.
No, that's correct. But I think one takeaway, I think right at the end of this, and Brendan, as a golfer himself, there was some chatter about their handicaps and stuff like that. So this debate definitely took some turns that we were not expecting. But of course, they also discussed some very, pressing issues, things like immigration. That was something that they both kind of dived into. Trump was pointing the finger at Biden, saying, hey, you're not doing that great of a job controlling the border. Biden saying, I'm trying to do my best. I try to get some bipartisan, bicameral legislation out the door in Congress, but that failed. So, Sarah, we'll have a whole lot more on this. I know there's going to be a lot more to dive into about this debate. Brendan, I don't know if you want to share any last thoughts on this?
I think we definitely got a lot more information about each president's handicap, maybe more so than we would have liked. But I'm going to be really interested to see kind of what the polling looks like after this. I think it's going to have, potentially a really big impact on how voters feel, and that's something I think we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on.
All right, Rachel, Brendan, thank you very much. And of course, WZMQ 19 will be following up on the aftermath of this debate tomorrow as well. Meanwhile, state legislators passed an $82.5 billion budget, mainly along party lines, very early this morning. The spending plan for the 2025 fiscal year includes an over $23 billion education budget and millions in funding for projects based here in the UP. House Democrats have been praising the bills, saying they prioritize keeping residents safe, creating equitable housing, and making life more affordable for families. But House Republicans say they believe state spending has gone too far and is being invested in the wrong places.
The state's running out of money. They're spending it at a breakneck speed. There's a ton of additional spending in this budget and in the school budget, and it's not necessary.
The budget bills are now on their way to the governor's desk for a signature, which usually occurs before the end of July. Developing now, the Ishpeming City Council voted tonight to fire the city manager. In its special meeting this evening, the council went into closed session for about 40 minutes, after which they voted unanimously to terminate its employment of Craig Cugini for undisclosed reasons. The council then voted unanimously to appoint current finance director Grant Geschow to take over as interim city manager. Mayor Jason Chapman sent a statement to WZMQ saying, in part, Geschow will work with city staff, Craig Cugini, and the city council to provide a seamless transition over the coming days and weeks. Grant has the full support of all 5 members of the council. A full search will be conducted for a permanent replacement, and more details will be forthcoming. Cugini was hired as the city manager in early 2020. WZMQ will provide updates as we learn more. Veterans will now get special discounts for one of Iron Mountain's biggest summer events. The Iron Mountain Downtown Development Authority announced it will offer special admission cards to veterans for Italian Fest on August 10th. The event coordinator says she created the new admission cards in response to community feedback. She says the new cards will be valid for vets to use in one of 2 festivals this year with the help of some local sponsors.
Partnering sponsors, it's going to be multi-state real estate, and then also First National Bank are coming together, and we are providing at least 50 free admission tickets to vets this year, and they will be able to use those at either Italian Fest or Oktoberfest.
We'll have more details on Iron Mountain seasonal events and the new free veteran admission at WZMQ19.com. The Max Entertainment Center in Iron Mountain will host a benefit for victims of last month's fatal apartment fire. The Max has about 24 items for a raffle so far, including a donated disc golf cage and set of discs, and nearly $500 worth of reptile-themed birthday parties from Glazer's Reptarium. The venue owner says the collection bucket placed during the Veterans Tribute Ride over Memorial Day weekend also helped those displaced families.
There's like $500 cash in there. There's a bunch of gift cards, and some anonymous donor brought in a bunch of manila envelopes that are sealed, and each one of them has something for one of the families. So we were told not to give them to them till the event, so there's going to be a big surprise.
This Saturday's fire benefit starts at noon Central Time, with music starting at 3. For those interested in contributing a raffle basket, just head to WZMQ19.com. With childcare at a premium in Marquette County, one organization is addressing the lack of quality early childcare. An open house was held today for the new Marquette location of Gretchen's House, an early childcare facility located inside the Messiah Lutheran Church. Parents, future parents, and guardians were invited to tour the new facility and learn about the many programs available to its young clients. The new center received funding from Northern Michigan University, giving those associated with NMU another option for child care. The regional director says that although NMU will receive priority, the center is open to the entire community.
Community members also can have access to this center, and so it really supports the entire community, their subsidy and their partnership with us. It supports everyone in having more childcare options in the area.
And I really appreciate their emphasis on learning here. I think that that's we think about little kids and just wanting their learning and growth and development to happen while they're away from home.
Pending further approval, Gretchen's house will be open sometime in July with a formal ribbon cutting planned for August 13th. 2 Marquette natives are in town recording an updated version of an old song with the band Karma Quartet. Our Kevin Hodge tells us about their history and why they've decided to record in the UP.
Our styles just kind of mesh, and we've been having a great time. We always have a great time when we play.
The band Karma Quartet is in Marquette this week, recording songs and putting on some shows in the UP. One of the members, John Churchville, is a Marquette native. Also a native, his longtime friend Ryan Staples, who owns the studio. Both went to the California Institute of Arts.
Ryan was able to move up to Marquette and open his own studio, and he has this amazing studio that he's kind of built from the ground up, literally, and so this is a dream come true, a full circle moment.
This particular group of musicians has been playing together for about a decade, but they really started rocking when the pandemic began.
Madcat was the first person to call me and say, hey, we got to make some music. We got to do something here. And so we got together this group of musicians and we started playing and just discovered it was so easy to play together. And within the first time meeting, we had like 10, 15 songs that we could all play.
Folk music, blues, rock and roll, jazz, world music, and playing in odd time signatures. And we combine it all together, and to find 3 other compatible musicians like that is a delight for me.
Karma Quartet will be performing at a few different locations in the UP over the next few days. In Marquette, Kevin Hodge, WZMQ 19 News.
Karma Quartet already played a show tonight at the Gwynn Farmers Market, but they have 2 more performances scheduled Friday and Saturday at Black Rocks Brewery in Marquette. Both of those shows begin at 7 p.m. Your first morning weather forecast is coming up after this break, plus an annual fundraiser at Marquette's Hospitality House, the famous faces who turned out for the Grill and Chill at the Beacon House. And later, 1 month out from the Paris Olympic Games, how the city and athletes are preparing for their biggest competition. We're back in 2 minutes.
Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons on WZMQ 19 News.
Come on down to Outdoor Man.
When do I get to shoot the crossbows?
We're breaking the rules.
So you're 13, I don't even think it's legal. So we should do it after lunch.
Our camping department is intense.
Set it up in 30 seconds flat. You can take it down even faster.
And we're always family friendly.
He's adorable. Listen, we found a bear cub in here.
Been nice knowing you, Baxter.
Outdoor Man is open for business on Last Man Standing.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature Made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
John's Auto is still your #1 source for a pre-owned vehicle. Our standards are still the highest. We have the cleanest hand-picked inventory around. That's what we're known for.
John's has built a legacy over the years, if you will, and for us to be able to jump into the service industry, the detailing industry, we provide quality service, timely, reliable, trustworthy, just like John's has for years in car sales.
Come on down to John's Auto and see what we're all about. Sales, service, and detailing.
Jennifer Hudson Show is at it again, surprising an incredible kid with their celebrity inspiration. But who will it be? Season of surprises! Plus, Derek Huff is back, so prepare for anything. Oh my God!
We got it!
And everything.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
Tonight, I am doing hard work. I'm standing, I'm complaining, I'm doing this.
Colbert's got Senator Cory Booker tonight on CBS.
Now, award-winning WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with Air Stasic.
A gorgeous shot of the Upper Peninsula, courtesy of Wandering Michigan's Michelle Lutke. Now, will we see some sunshine this weekend? Sure, but we're going to start off soggy. breezy conditions as well. So eating outside, probably not the best idea, and exercising, it's going to be a little bit cooler. And again, rainy conditions, possibly stormy. We'll time all that out. Your lawn and garden, though, they're going to be really happy. All right, here's what we're looking at the past couple of hours. All of this fun party is headed our way, and we'll time that out. Currently, though, we're nice and dry, calm. Yeah, it's a nice night out there. Those temperatures mostly in the 50s. We do have some hanging out in those low 60s for your lows overnight. And then taking a look at Friday, yeah, we've got breezy conditions, rain showers, chances of thunderstorms mostly coming in the afternoon, wind gusts continuing throughout the day and into our Saturday. And then we've got rainy and cloudy conditions possible there on our Friday evening. Let's look at those wind speeds. It's definitely going to be gustiest over there in Houghton and along that Keweenaw Peninsula. Iron Mountain could see some big gusts up to 25 miles an hour as well. All right, so as far as the rainfall, by 9 a.m., we'll have about a 2/10 of an inch there for that northwest coastline, and then by 9 p.m., close to half an inch. Marquette, maybe a 1/10 of an inch, and those numbers increasing overnight on our Saturday around 9 a.m. We could have an inch up there in Eagle Harbor. So wet conditions on the roads definitely expected. Taking a look here, when does it all get started? Well, in those morning hours by 9-10 o'clock in the morning, the west half's going to be covered with that precipitation before it heads our way in the central locations, or I should say the north central locations for the afternoon. Again, those yellow and red blobs are the chances of thunderstorms and heavy rain precipitation, but those red ones, you definitely want to keep your eye on. Now, you think this one's coming our way, it's actually going to slow down and we'll just get a little bit of those rain showers. We could see some storms over in the Sioux later on, or early, on our Saturday morning. Chances of a thunderstorm there in Ontonagon County, but mostly cloudy skies for Saturday. Sunday, however, looks fairly dry, sunny conditions, mostly clear for the evening, maybe a little bit cloudier over on the east half there. So overall, again, we're starting soggy, but then we'll dry out a little bit. So what's our next time that we'll see another round of rain moving through Marquette at least? Well, probably Monday night into our Tuesday, and then maybe chances there on Wednesday and Thursday, which is Fireworks Day or the 4th of July. We are expecting mostly sunny skies here and pretty much across the UP, but those chances of showers coming in the afternoon.
Thanks, Air. A Marquette nonprofit held its biggest fundraiser of the year tonight to help families and caregivers of people who are hospitalized. The Mariucci Family Beacon House held its 3rd annual Grill and Chill fundraiser. The Nashville-themed event featured a grilling contest, bourbon tasting, even a live country music performance. The event even brought out some big names like Tom Izzo, Jay Feely, and of course, Steve Mariucci himself. The Beacon House CEO says the fundraiser provides a large portion of the money needed to operate throughout the year.
Because they're going through a medical crisis, whether it's they're cancer patients, they're here for 2 months. You can only imagine how expensive staying in a hotel would be. But when we open our doors and we say, you just need to stay with us, don't worry about anything else.
Last year, this event raised $268,000, and they're hoping to match that at this year's event. A new bank opened its doors in Marquette Township this afternoon. A new Honor Credit Union location cut the ribbon on its community center off US 41 today. The new building took about 3 years to build and has an addition of a 906 Connect Center space where members and non-members can reserve the center for any event, plus use of a full kitchen. The Marquette Credit Union team says they are ready to connect with the community. Marquette continues Art Week events, and tonight a local organization put on an interesting spin on its event. The Marquette County Quilters Association held a multimedia quilting craft. Participants can decorate their provided tote bags with different fabrics, stencils, patterns. Members of the association say making sure adults would want to participate in Art Week crafts was important to them. And with this year's Art Week theme being Grow, the group says they wanted to let the community decide what that means to them.
Demonstrate, but we decided no, let's let the kids have full reign. We'll supply the materials, and then they can do their interpretation of the word grow.
The Marquette County Quilters Association meets the first Wednesday of every month in the Peter White Public Library and is open to new members. Also, 2 Marquette locals showcase their art in a unique way today. Painting with Words is an Art Week event put on by 2 Marquette artists. The event held at the Marquette Commons offered participants a chance to work with a letterpress, printmaking, and even typing some poetry on a typewriter. The artists say letting the public be hands-on is important.
People out quilting, there's people painting, there's art gallery up the street. There's just lots of things going on in Marquette to kind of make art visible, you know, and I like to make poetry visible. Phil likes to be visible with what he's doing. So yeah, it's like bringing it out so people can see it.
Marquette Art Week continues through this Saturday. There is 1 month to go until the Olympic Games in Paris, where the world's greatest athletes will compete amid iconic landmarks in history. But security is a concern at the event that's attracting millions of visitors. Lee Canary has more from London.
The City of Light, transforming venue by venue, ring by ring, for the Paris 2024 Olympics.
We are on the final stretch of our preparation, and we have one message to the world: get ready for games like no others.
Emily may not be in Paris, but Anna is. The fashion capital of the world paid homage to the Olympic Games last week. Paris expects to welcome 15 million visitors. History will be made when teams float down the Seine River in the opening ceremony, a first outside a stadium. And more than a dozen Olympic venues have been built in the city center. Police have mobilized 30,000 security forces. Their main concern isn't crowds, but lone wolves. The possibility that members of ISIS in Syria, Iraq, or Afghanistan could inspire attacks, Paris's police chief said. Last month, a Chechen man was arrested for planning an attack at the Olympic soccer stadium. And Paris has seen mass protests in recent weeks, leading up to snap parliamentary elections. President Macron said he hopes people vote for his party, the people who've been preparing for the Games for 7 years. Win or lose, the Olympic Games will go on, and athletes at the top of their game will take a bit of France home with them. Each medal contains a piece of iron from the Eiffel Tower itself.
Nielsen predicts the U.S. team will dominate the overall medal count at the Games, with China as its toughest competitor. Our sports report is on the way next. Mike, some updates from the transfer portal with NMU.
Well, maybe not, but at least we know that there is going to be a coaching change and a new coach will be named tomorrow. And you already know who he is. Details next.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar.
Funerals can be emotionally devastating for a family to go through. Besides the sorrow, loved ones are left with the high costs of arranging a funeral. Funeral Advantage was formed to help protect your family when they need it most. It pays your loved ones up to $20,000 immediately for funeral and any other expenses.
It's a good feeling to know that my family will be taken care of if anything happens to me.
Funerals can easily cost $9,000 or more, but government benefits pay only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the rest.
It's so easy. Just answer a few simple health questions. This is so affordable, even for someone like me who's on a fixed income.
If you're 40 to 85, get information on how to protect your family. Funeral Advantage is something we all need. There's no risk or obligation. Call now.
Get the facts about how easy it is to protect your family. Call 800-845-5191. Don't wait. Call now.
Stuck with engine troubles? Norway Auto Sales and Service is here to rescue you. From pesky engine glitches to routine maintenance like oil changes and meticulous detailing, our specialists have the solution for your vehicle. You can also count on us for affordable 24-hour towing. Conveniently located on US 2, our full-service garage ensures your vehicle's peak performance. Trust us to get you back on the road swiftly. Call 906-563-8300 now and trust Norway Auto Sales and Service to revive your ride.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local.
Good evening, everyone. NMU's new hockey head coach will be introduced tomorrow at a press conference. Dave Shayak played for the Wildcats from 1987 through 91, including the national championship team. He was the head coach at Alaska Anchorage for 8 years and associate head coach at Western Michigan and St. Cloud State for a combined 10 seasons. The press conference begins at 11 a.m. at the Wildcat Room of the Barrie Event Center, and WZMQ 19 will be at that press conference. Meanwhile, former NMU hockey head coach Grant Patolny has been named head coach of the Hartford Wolfpack in the American Hockey League. The 44-year-old Patolny becomes the 8th head coach in Wolfpack history. He was at NMU for 7 seasons, a record of 128, 113, and 17. The Wildcats won 20 games in back-to-back seasons, 2021-22 and 2022-23. That last season, they advanced to the CCHA Finals for the second time in 3 seasons. Before joining the Wildcats, Patolny spent 8 seasons as an assistant coach at the University of Minnesota, and prior to joining the coaching ranks, he played in the American Hockey League for 6 seasons. Before turning pro, Patolny played 4 seasons with the Golden Gophers. He was named the NCAA tournament's most valuable player in 2002, leading the Golden Gophers to the national championship, and they repeated in 2003. Patolny earned MVP honors in the WCHA tournament. Most NBA drafts are remembered for the player taken number 1 in the first round, and that may not be the case this year. The Los Angeles Lakers selected Bronny James with their second-round pick at 55. Bronny is the son of Lakers forward LeBron James, and no father-son has ever been a combination of teammates in the NBA. Bronny James averaged a little more than 5 points per game at the University of Southern California last season. Meanwhile, last night, the Detroit Pistons took Ron Holland II with the 5th pick in round 1. He played in the G League for Ignite. Here's Holland's thoughts about joining the Pistons.
To really just changing things around. I know they have a stigma on them when it comes to a lot of the losing, and I feel like I'm a huge part to be able to start to change that around. I have a willingness to win, and I feel like me going into this franchise, being able to help them out with this good group of guys, good group of young guys that they have, I'm definitely super excited to get down there and get to work.
Holland averaged 19.5 points and 6.7 rebounds with the Ignite last season. In the second round, Detroit chose shooting guard Cam Spencer of the 2-time national champion Connecticut Huskies. Speaking of Detroit, at the golf club, the Rocket Mortgage tournament made its debut for this year, and Miles Russell is only 15 years old, and he didn't do half bad. This is his approach on 13, a little bit of tree action there. Short on the birdie putt, but he ended up with a 2 over par 74, and it's too bad you're going to have to be well under par to make the cut. Taylor Montgomery started on the 10th hole. This is his approach on 16. He birdied 6 holes between 10 and 18. He finished at 7 under par 65. That's tied for second place. Akshay Bhatia, an eagle chip on the 17. He is your leader at 8 under par 64. Cubs and Giants today. And rather quickly, a nice day to be out on the water. Top of the 3rd, Nico Horner finds a pitch to his liking, and that one is gone. His 3rd of the year, 2-0 Cubs. They go on to win this one in 10 innings by the count of 5-3. In Legion Baseball, it was Norway over Niagara tonight, 8-5, and we will be right back.
"19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture. 25 years of fun, and you're invited. It's the silver anniversary of the Downtown Marquette Farmers Market. Come celebrate with us every Saturday morning at the Marquette Commons. From 9 to 1, you'll find a wide variety of local foods, produce, art, and so much more. Plus, the Wednesday night Farmers Market on the 100 block of West Washington Street is back from 5 to 8. For more information, visit mqtfarmersmarket.com. The Farmers Market is presented by the Marquette DDA and sponsored by Flagstar Bank and WZMQ 19.
Tonight,
I am doing hard work. I'm standing, I'm complaining, I'm doing this.
Colbert's got Senator Cory Booker. Tonight on CBS.
Ronnie started doing prescription pills at the age of 15, and by 19, he died. If your child is struggling with drug use, try not to be too proud to reach out for help. Don't be worried about what the neighbor will think or your family. Just get your child the help they need. Sometimes it's the hard road to take, but the hard road is nothing compared to living with the fact that your child is no longer with you.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
Who will be there when the final whistle blows? When the final votes have been cast? Who will be there when we need a warning or a laugh? Will you? Start a career in the broadcasting industry. Whether it's on air or behind the scenes, there's a world of opportunities waiting for you. Be there as history unfolds. Go to BeThereMichigan.com.
Top investigators and police use the latest forensic science to uncover the truth and solve real cases. The devil is always in the details. Forensic Factor.
Temperatures this evening, we're expecting lows in the 50s across the board, maybe some areas having those lower 60s. And then when is that rain headed our way? Well, for these towns, Iron Mountain, Escanaba, as well as Houghton, it looks like the early morning hours of our Friday, and that's going to continue into the evening. Here's a look at those temperatures, 65 to 75 across the UP, and those gusts definitely breezy, 25 to 30 miles an hour. So don't get blown away. Taking a quick look at what's happening for the 4th of July next Thursday, mostly sunny skies. Is going to be drier up in Houghton as of right now, and then chances of, I almost said snowfall. No, rainfall in the afternoon, looking like some showers.
Finally tonight, a Marquette organization teed up at a golf event today that supports the care of veterans. The DJ Jacobetti Home for Veterans held its 27th annual charity golf outing today at the Marquette Country Club, where over 135 people came out to support this year's event. The fundraiser supports the Veterans Home's mission of quality of life for those who reside in its care. Participants said today is all about helping veterans who served us when they need it most.
Some of our members that came out today for coffee and donuts and to engage with some of the golfers, and it's inspiring, I know, for our members and our staff and those close to the Jacobetti to see the community show up in force to support them.
Proceeds from today's golf outing go toward funding the quality of life events for the veterans at the DJ Jacobetti Home, and it looks like it was a beautiful day for it.
Definitely, but tomorrow it's going to be a little soggy out there.
Do you have any handicaps for your golf game here?
No, I'm a great cart driver.
I'm great at putt-putt golf. Lutz?
Yeah, the cart driver. Yeah, that's my strength. Yes.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Pictionary.
I can't wait for this. Where's my popcorn?
Play along from home.
Iguana?
Iguana is correct. You just did a cartwheel and you're like 7'6".
With a chance to win.
Paddle of nunchucks.
Nunchucks is correct.
Every